howdy, welcome back. How's it going? It is Labor Day, so I had the day off, so I wanted to make sure that we are having fun and getting a chance to work out. So let's work out together. We're continuing on with our kickboxing focus with the cardio workout. So before we do anything, we first need to get limbered up. And again, I forgot my timer. Give me 2 seconds. All right, sorry about that. Always got to have the timer as we do these as timed rounds. So let's get started. Now, first things first, we need to warm up and start limbering up before we can really do anything. So let me get my stopwatch started. All right, here we go. All right, now you can wear gloves if you want. I'm wearing gloves to add the extra weight to the hands because having a little extra weight can give me a little bit more workout. Now, gloves are important if you're looking to protect your wrist, especially if you're new. You can use gloves, wraps, anything like that to protect your wrist. As you're hitting things, you're gonna hit more often, and as you hit more often, you'll notice that your hands get more conditioned, your wrist gets stronger. All of that natural progression can happen still while wearing gloves. So the people who say, oh, you wear gloves? Yeah, we do, because we're protecting our wrists first. Now, once you practice and practice and practice, of course you can drop that later on if you want. But it's always best to have the best practices, right? So let's limber up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do 1 minute of shadow boxing. If you're new to this and you can't shadow box, that's perfectly fine. I want you to work on your jumping jacks. So you'll just do 1 minute of jumping jacks as we do our shadow boxing. All right, ready? Starting 1 minute and 3, 2, 1, go. Keep moving, just warming up. Boom, boom, and that's 1 minute. All right. So you should be feeling a little warmer, getting a little loosey-goosey, waking up those legs. So now let's do a little bit of swinging the legs. So we're just gonna swing our legs 10 times to start to loosen up. Ten times the other side. Straight leg, just let it stretch. Good. Once we've done 10 straight, we're gonna do 10 sideways. So you're gonna swing sideways, open the toe. I am really tight after 3 days of Kung Fu. Other side. Try and get 10 times. Good. Now, we're going to do frog stretch. So frog stretch is where you get down, you open the hips, you open the feet, push your hips back, and bring your hands down, and let the hips open. And hold. And you can rotate your hips back and forth. Start loosening up the joints. Then we're going to bring our feet in, and we're going to push back more, nice and low. And relax the hips, make sure you're breathing. We're going to push up, rotating the hips forward a little bit. Make sure you're breathing. We're just now starting, so just starting to get limbered up. Don't force it down low unless you can go low. Now back down. We're going to rotate our hips forward again. Back forward here. Now we're going to open up our feet again. And now I'm going to open up my left side all the way up. And I'm going to rotate back. Focusing on my left foot. I'm going to rotate and then rotate forward. Rotate back, toe up, sitting back like a half split, rotating forward, turning the hip over, extension, and back. Working on getting that mobility. We've been working out the last couple days, so legs might be tight, tendons might be tight. Good. Now without rotating the toe, we're going to rotate back and forth. Two more times. And go down if you need. Try and keep that hip low. Pushing back. Almost like a low stance, like a Cossack squat. But last one. And back forward, back to frog stance. Ooh, there's those tight hips. We're going to rotate back once. Back forward, opening the hips. Now I'm going to open my right side all the way up. I'm going to rotate back and sit back into my hip. Now you can see how I'm very one-sided here. This is to do with an old injury. So I'm just going to sit here and relax and breathe. And then I'm going to rotate the toe up and sit back a little bit. And rotate back forward. Rotating back. Slowly making my way to the half split. And back forward. Foot needs to come out a little more forward here. Rotate back. And forward. This is all the bitter work, the hard work stuff. Back one more time. Rotating the hip. And back forward. Now we're going to keep the foot flat. We're going to push the hip back. Toes still staying on the ground. And rotating back forward. Grinding the hips. We're going to get our mobility back. And if you've never had it, then we're going to get you some. All right. One last one. Pushing back and hold. 2, 3, 4. Relax. 5. Breathe. 6. Relax. Breathe. 7. Breathe. 8. Now back to frog stance. Both knees down, pulled in. We're going to rotate back, feet in. Rotate forward. Bringing the feet up, rotating our hips and pelvis forward to the ground. Now I'm going to straighten my legs out. Push up. Back into middle split. And relax. Let the hips start to open up nice and slow. And breathe. Do not forget to breathe. You can arch your pelvis forward. And up. All right. Slowly, if you're like me and you're old, you got to slowly walk your feet in. That's fine. Take your time. Regain those muscles. Ooh. Gotta walk it in. All right. Ooh. Good, 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 good. All right, so we should be starting to get. Oh yeah, you gotta keep going. This is after 3 days of, of working out, so the hip flexors are a little tight right now. Whew. All right, so after that one, what I like to do is I like to do some circles now. So I'm gonna do some circles here, rotating. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I like to go back and forth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1. Yeah, get those hips back loosey-goosey. Good. We're looking like we have more range. All right. So that's the stretching aspect, right? For mobility, you have to have the stretching and the strength. So the not so fun spot is doing that stretching there. Now to work on strength, we have a drill called slow side kicks. So we're gonna do picking our knee up. So I first turn my toe. I'm gonna use an assist. I use my heavy bag. I first turn my toe facing the bag. I'm gonna be kicking this way. Now I'm gonna pick up my knee for a side kick. I'm gonna turn over and I'm gonna kick out, side kick out and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull back in, nice and tight. Turn the hip forward. And then if you're really working on it, you keep your leg up. If you need to rest, you put it down, but you don't touch. You just drop it, then you pull it back up. And now you can turn back over, side kick out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back in, keeping up. Turning. Last one, number 3. Keep it tucked, turn up, kick out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and squeeze. Oh, I turned too soon. And down. Woo! Get a little burn there. All right, let's do the other side. Pulling up, slow side kick. Up. Now you can see my hip. So I open, kick out, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull in. And down. All right, 2 more to go. And up. Turn over and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. Woo. 1 more to go. Let's push through it. Up, over, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. All right, so that's one of the strength drills that you can do to build up on your mobility. So we have the stretching aspects, right? Where we do our splits, our half splits, and then we have our slow side kicks, which will build the abductors, the glutes, everything that you need for the strong kicks. All right, so since the last couple of times, we were really focusing on combinations and getting moving again. So we're gonna keep building on that as soon as I catch my breath from those. But we want to also make sure, like I said, we're building that mobility, because if we just hit the bag, we're not building the mobility all the way that we can. So make sure you're doing your horse stance. You're trying to get as low as possible, opening the hips, and you hold. Our goal is for 5 minutes. Now, make sure you're doing that. You should be doing that 2 to 3 times a week. All right, so let's get to the fun stuff, hitting the bag. So we're gonna go straight into combos today, since it's gonna be kind of a shorter class than our normal one. So last time we were working on our jab, our cross, our hook, which is number 3, our uppercut, rear hand, number 4. So when we do this, we want to make sure we sink into our punches. 1, down. I'm down into it. 2, I'm sunken into my foot here. 3, next one, when I do this uppercut, I need to sink. 4, here. Make sure the hand is up. Now, when you hit a bag, it's going to look different than when you're hitting in the air, right? You're not going to be able to follow all the way through. You should be close here for those hooks and uppercuts. So let's first start on our first combo, which is going to be our 1, our 2, and then we're going to throw our round kick, our roundhouse kick. So from here, I want you to start in distance. That way you have distance for the roundhouse kick. Now, if you don't know how to throw a roundhouse kick, you're going to just step out, turn your foot, pivot, and throw the roundhouse kick. This is blinding me a little too much. Let me fix this. Every time I looked over here, the light was really bad. All right, so I'm going to go in distance here. If I'm doing my left side, I'm going to go 1, 2, I'm going to cut here. I want to do a cut with my arm here. So in case I miss them, I can reach out to the other side here. And then roundhouse kick. Again, 1, 2, roundhouse kick through. All right, let's put some oomph into it. You're gonna do one side for a whole minute. Let's give it a 10 seconds, and then that way we can start on the 30. All right, 1, 2, roundhouse kick. Ready, go. More seconds. Oh, yeah. Come on, pick it up. All right, break. All right, that's the first one. 1, 2, round kick. All right, let's do the next one. So the next one, I'm sorry, we need to do 1, 2, round kick on the other side. All right, starting in 10 seconds. Ready, 5 seconds. And go. I forgot to fill the water bag. It's got a little bit, but it needs more water. Oh, keep going. Break. All right, good. That's the 1-2 round kick. Very good job. Whew. Hope you're having a good Labor Day. Hope you're not having to work. If you're watching YouTube, you're probably not working. That or you have it on in the background. But yeah. All right, so that's 1-2 roundhouse. 1-2 roundhouse kick. Otherwise, 1-2 roundhouse kick, right? So now we're gonna do an oblique kick. An oblique kick is where you go low here, boom. This way, you step in, kicking down at the shin here. So when I'm here, boom, boom. But that's not good enough, right? I wanna hit them too, boom. So you can jab and kick low. You can fake and kick low. You can throw the other hand, kick low. This oblique kick can be used to kick their shin. If they start to go for a front kick, you can sometimes block there. But another good use of it is if you're in the clinch here. Say you got a clinch, you come here. This is a sweep. When you do that, you do turning the bus wheel. So if you're in your clinch here, same thing, oblique kick here, right? I'm in sideways here, oblique, here, oblique, up close, oblique with the turn here. So we're gonna do this 10 times on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, other side, ready? 1, 2, and then kick to the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So an oblique kick is really good, especially if you're trying to set up for a question mark kick, one of my favorites. So you start throwing your oblique kick a couple times, get them to start reacting to that, boom, boom. So you know they're either gonna check or they're gonna do something here, bring their hands down, and then you turn the hip over by using the pivot leg, right? After here, when I go here, I'm gonna pivot over using the back hip here. The back hip turns, turning the roundhouse kick up here. So after I throw my oblique kick a couple times, 1, boom, I'm getting them to react, boom, 2, boom, I'm gonna change it into the question mark kick, where they start to come up here, maybe drop their hands a little bit, and then you get them to take the bait. Here, question mark kick. That way you can get them here, boom, bah, I got you here, bah, and you change it. That way you can catch them, right? It's about setting it up. Now, it's not always gonna work, right? Here, boom, you're gonna be here, jabbing, moving across, boom, oblique kick, jab, oblique, go up. You can also do it using a front kick, all right? You can go, or a back kick, right? Boom, here, teep, teep. After a little bit of teeping, you change the direction of the kick just by rotating that back hip. And it works. That's why you see it in MMA, you see it in kickboxing, you see it in Muay Thai, you see it in Kung Fu, you see it in Taekwondo, karate, all of it. Because what works, works, and you adopt what works. So let's work on the question mark kick. You're gonna come here, you're gonna do an oblique kick. Then on your second oblique kick, you're gonna be out here at distance. You're gonna go 1, 2, turning the hip over. All right, it's okay if you don't get that much power in the roundhouse kick at first. It's an awkward motion to go from here all the way to here while this is up here, right? So one drill you can do at home is doing the hack. You can see how this side, I have that hip injury. This side, I can grab, go up, right? So you want to go up. This side, not as good here. So got to build more mobility here. So you go 1, oblique kick. And you're going to go 2, question mark kick. That's 1 count. Ready? 2, 1, question. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 more. 8. Oh, that was bad. Good. So that's the question mark kick. Very fun, right? So if you want to get your question mark kick a little better, you can put your leg up here and you hold and you stretch. Bring your chest down. You want to get this stretch here. Now, if you notice on this side, when I pull up, this is where my hurt hip is. So I don't have as much range here. So this is what I'm rebuilding here, trying to get this open. All right, so that's the question mark kick. All right. So now we're gonna do a step through straight punch or stepping through cross. So we're gonna step through into a spinning back fist. So I'm gonna step off the line, across, spinning back fist, across here. So if I'm fighting you, I'm gonna go here, 1, 2. Target's here now. Fighting you, you step back, I can follow you in, here. So you can use the backhand if you step through. So you do it on the bag by stepping across here, 1, 2 for the spinning back fist. So when I go, here you go, boom. Reset, ready. We're gonna do 1 minute of spinning back fist, 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. Starting in 10 seconds. So if you're gonna step through, you step through 1, 2. And this side, you can step through 1, 2. All right, ready? Starting 3, 2, 1. Spinning back fist. Good, 1 minute. All right, spinning back fist, gotta be fun. Yeah, it's so fun. Oh, Gary Coop, hi. Hi, Gary. Unsolicited advice is the worst advice. People don't talk like that who have experience, so just ignore those people. So, from here, we were just doing the step in across, spinning back fist, right? Which is really good. If they get too close, right, say they don't move back, you can turn it into an elbow, spinning elbow here. Now, there's another one you can do without getting out of range, right? So if you step through 1 spinning back fist, but you notice they start to go that way, or if you get them 1, you can go back the other side, spinning here. Another good thing is if they block you, right? Say we're here, we step in, boom, and they push on your arm here, so you can't hit them, right? You can go back the other side with a spinning elbow or spinning hammer fist, spinning back fist, if they move back, which they're not because they're touching you. So what I mean is, if you're here, you punch and step and you're here, right? If they push you here, you can go back the other way. So the technique, we're gonna start here. We're gonna step in close. 1, 2, 3. This is so you can throw elbows if you need. If they have distance, right, you can use your back fist. 1, and then back, ready to throw your next techniques. All right, so I step through cross. 1, back fist, back fist, back fist. Make sure whenever you're doing spinning back fists, especially because spinning back fists are such high risk, high reward, but high risk, is you definitely need to have your hand up each time. 1, 2, 3. Bring that hand back up here, right? Guard your head. So you step through, fighting here, boom, boom, 1. Boom, here. All right, let's do it. You can need, again, if you get close, 1, elbow, 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 and then back out. Make sure, tight guard. All right, 3 spinning back fists. Ready, go. Where'd it go? There you go. Elbow time. Two more. All right, good. Spinning back fist. It's a good little drill. If anything, it keeps you used to being able to have to change directions, right? Because if you get your spinning back fist and they block here, you're too close, at least you know how to move back and get out. So you can also do retreating spinning back fist, right? Say you're in really close here. You're fighting here, you can step back, boom. Right, this one works better if you're using an actual back fist with your front hand. All right, you could be jabbing, throwing back fist, hook back fist, but you can use it as a retreating back fist as you cross step. Now, cross step should only be used in very situational situations, right? Like if I'm changing sides, this isn't quite a cross step because this is bad, don't want to be here. When I do it, I'm going to turn my hip. As I do it, I turn my hip and step through, already ready to be on my other side. If you cross and then turn, you're dead meat. It's absolutely way too slow, especially if you're fighting a wrestler. They're just going to double leg you instantly, right? All right, so you need to, this is to cause the distance at the same time too, for gauge, right? So you're up close, I need to hit them, I need to get distance, boom. My hand's already ready to be released. Elbow was already up. You notice, as soon as I move back from here, elbow is coming around right away. Now I can use the spinning back fist or hammer fist, but if they're in close, you've already got your elbow there. So the drill you can do is you can be up close. See, I'm almost on the bag right here. I can be here, I step, boom, and reset. And then go here, boom, boom, and reset. You can do it with the elbow, boom, and back end. You can do it with a side kick. Right? Oh, don't do that. Don't do whatever my ugly side kick was. When you do that, it has to be, proper side kick. So there's all these different things you can do while retreating, but you have to make sure this isn't just a cross step here. It's a little too soon or too slow. When you turn and move, you have to turn the hip. So you're already coming through with the next technique. This here, boom, you can feel a lot of power there, right? The twisting power, but I highly suggest against it because you can get stuck, and anyone who knows wrestling can take you down. Yeah. No power punch. Oh, Lubo, who cares? You don't know what you're talking about. Only people who talk like that don't know what they're talking about. You don't need much power. See, this is the thing. People think you need so much power to knock people out. You don't need that much, especially if you're using an elbow or a hammer fist or a spinning back fist. The rotation will take you, right? So when I move back here, right, say I'm here. And so if you want a target to hit, you can start past the thing. So you go here, boom. That'll end somebody. All these keyboard warriors. I don't know why I got upset. Sorry about that. Adrenaline. All right, anyway. So that's how you do a retreating back fist, right? Retreating, spinning back fist. 1, 2. You can step back. So you're on the target here. 1, 2. Hitting there, right? So now, the next combo we're going to do is we've already done 1, 2 round kick, right? Now we're going to do an axe kick. So the axe kick is where you come up like a high heel kick here. You're going to come up and then you chop down, chopping down on the collarbone or even the face. Lately, you've been seeing some stuff online where people are using axe kicks in the face, so might as well cover it here. So we're going to shuffle. When we shuffle, it's very important that you don't hop and turn. We're not switching sides here, right? That's a totally different thing. What we're doing is we're shuffling our feet here. So I shuffle here. My feet go here, like this. So when I shuffle, boom, it moves like the running man. All right, so if we're here, when I shuffle, boom. This causes my lane now. Now I can kick up and cut in with an outside crescent and chop down here. Now when you shuffle, you can't just, some people can shuffle and get them to bite on things, but what I suggest is throwing the front hand. You can throw a back fist if you want. You can throw a straight punch, a jab. So you're here, shuffle, tag. All right, this will keep their hands up for a little bit and hopefully get them to turtle. Once you get this, you can pull down, especially if they turtle. If they turtle, you grab their gear and pull down. All right, so you're gonna turtle them, shuffle, axe kick down, here. So when I'm here on the bag, I'm gonna go here, boom, here, boom. Now, be careful when you're hitting a bag. You don't wanna hurt your knee, right? You don't wanna hurt your knee, so you have to do it with correct skill. So boom, boom, and down, right? So we're gonna shuffle. Hey, I'm gonna put you in timeout if you keep spamming. In fact, I'm just gonna put you in timeout now because you just did like 100. Raha Jackson, is that Rampage Jackson's, what's it called? Son? That guy's trash. I don't care if he can fight or what, but that was absolutely disgusting. That was a attempted murder in my eyes. So, yeah. Anyways, all right. So we're axe kick. That's right. So we're doing axe kick. So again, remember shuffle. When we shuffle, boom here, right? Shuffle, boom here. Now, once we shuffle, we can throw our axe kick up and chopping down. We want to squeeze, so it comes up, squeeze it down, up, squeeze, up and release. So when I'm here, I'm going to shuffle, punch, down here. If you push your hip forward, say you know that they're going to move back here. You can push your hip forward. I'll do it sideways here. You can push your hip forward and skip a little bit to move forward here. And I bring my head back a little bit too. That way I'm a little bit more in a safer range. Here, boom, boom. And then I can come back with my rear hand. So one drill you can do is you can do your shuffle and jab, right? shuffle, jab. Now I'm not gonna actually hit the bag with the kick, right? I'm actually setting up my reverse punch. So I'm gonna axe kick here into the punch. Because if you can get them to bait here on the axe kick and then come back, then you can score that cross here. So I shuffle, axe, cross, and down, and reset. Shuffle, axe, cross, and reset. Go, shuffle, axe, cross, reset. Shuffle, axe, cross, reset. I need more water in my bag. I'm barely touching it and it's moving. I forgot to fill it today. So that's how you can set up an axe kick. All right, shuffle, boom, and you still have something to throw afterwards there. So yeah. Good. Never fought in my life. I need to find my leg shivers. How do I get over it? So you need to get into a studio that practices sparring. That practices light sparring first. And then you do a bunch of light sparring so you can get used to getting in there in that little adrenaline dump. Now, nothing's gonna prep you for a full-on, you're in a real fight, full adrenaline dump, right? Unless you're doing real self-defense classes. But like a real fighting camp, right? Like an MMA camp that will teach you how to react and pressure like that. Something that incorporates fighting, striking, and something that incorporates ground fighting too, right? That way when you're here and you do get taken down, you know how to be a little calm during that moment. The calm of the jitters comes from experience, from getting in the ring and practicing and just doing the thing over and over in that kind of adrenaline dump. And like I said, the best way to do that isn't, well, I hate to say it, but a lot of times isn't some of the traditional martial art classes, right? I love traditional martial arts. I teach traditional martial arts. But unless you have a traditional school that is teaching the fighting aspects of it and how to actually use it, and like, because if you notice, in my Kung Fu, I'm standing up in kickboxing because that's realistic to what we're going to be doing. In our stances, in our forms and stuff here, where we do all of our big punches, that's great. It teaches body mechanics, how to be loose, how to have your shoulders nice and loose so you can throw, and how to be strong and connected with your body and push from the ground. But those stances aren't really for fighting until you're very, very high level. And a lot of those stances are for like takedowns, so you can get low and pick them up, right? So in the end, the way that you get over the jitters is through experience, being in a properly taught fight or self-defense course that will teach you the proper way to handle it. That way you can pressure test it. Because if you don't pressure test, then it's all just bullcrap anyway, right? So just getting experience. Find a self-defense course that's pretty hands-on self-defense. Yeah. Oh, I didn't go pro. No. Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't go pro or anything like that. Some of my classmates were more of the main fighters. I was the forms champion. So I still got a lot of the Sanshao training in, but I was more aligned with the forms and learning the traditional arts and stuff like that. But the fighting, we still work on in our class, right? The whole time I was doing it, we were still learning all that stuff because I had a fight-oriented teacher, right? A true traditional teacher who taught the fighting aspects. Again, you got to find a fight coach though, right? That will help so much, because just getting in the ring a couple times with someone who you know isn't gonna knock you out, so you can learn how to react to that, and then you slowly start building up the pressure. That way you're used to more and more heavier pressure. Don't do much heavy sparring unless it's your like first couple times to go into a real fight. Don't do any heavy sparring because it's so dangerous on your head. Now, when I say heavy sparring, I mean like going for the knockout. You can still hit heavy and it'd still be light sparring if you have the right partner. One last thing, and then I'm gonna get back to the workout. Make sure with your sparring partner or your drill partner that you're going the correct way, right? All right, make sure you're, when I say going the correct way, I mean you're doing the correct force, right? When I'm sparring with someone and they tell me I'm hitting too hard and I'm going 10%, that's my 10%, right? So I need to go their 10% because they're not at the level that I'm at yet. That's being a good sparring partner, helping them. You can still work on your stuff, you just work on being more technical at it, right? You don't work on the speed and the power. That way you can still get your job in. All right, anyways, I can talk Kung Fu and stuff yeah, I've been doing it and been around it my whole life, so it's fun, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Hard sparring with no headgear. Ooh. Yeah, no. There's, and that's a cultural thing too, right? It also depends on what you're going for and what your long-term goals are too, right? But some of those people, they start a little too young for the head hits for my liking. But anyways, I digress. I'm getting called. I need to get back into it. Okay, so we've done, what have we done? Question mark kick. We've done a jab. Oh yeah, we just did our axe kick. All right. So, what's next? Superman. So, I love the Superman punch, but everyone does Superman punch now, right? So, you can do it with an oblique kick, right? Oblique kick, just like we were doing with our question mark kicks. You oblique kick here, boom, boom, boom. Now, once you get them to react, you Superman elbow in. That can a lot of times scoot past the gloves, right? If the gloves aren't tight, that elbow will come in and break that glove, especially if they're really tired, right? You've been hitting on their arms a lot, they've been blocking a lot, and then you can oblique Superman elbow. You can oblique Superman punch if they go far, all right? But if you notice, I really like that oblique kick. Boom, boom. So you keep setting it up, right? So you oblique kick them, one, boom, 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 kick them, two. Now you're gonna change it into a Superman, or now you change it into a question mark kick, right? So you've been going, you've been oblique kicking them, you do your question mark, boom. Now they don't know what's gonna go on, right? So they're like, what is happening? And you oblique, Superman elbow, or oblique, Superman punch. Get them to take the bait, right? That's the whole point of kind of our style. You trick them. You're here, you jab, boom, outside, jab, jab, back out. Jab, cross, jab, low side kick, oblique, question mark kick. You can do your teeps, front teep, rear teep, rear teep, rear teep, Superman punch, right? Rear teep, Superman elbow. You can do front leg, Superman. Here, pick up the leg here. Boom, and, right? Boom, boom. Set up. So these little skips, boom, boom, back. You can skip back, boom, switching to side. I got a really good drill. Okay, this is the one we're gonna do. It's one of my favorite. It's a really good way to switch hands, right? Say you can confuse them by switching your guard. So I'm gonna start left side. I'm gonna move in with my jab, one. Then I'm gonna cross. Now when I do this cross, I'm gonna move my back foot in more, here. Now, when I throw my left hand again, I'm gonna step back and do a quick little shuffle. One, left hand stepping forward with the right foot. Then I can punch again, right hand. Two, moving back, here. So, without the bag, you start here, you're gonna go jab, cross, step in, here. Then I can switch, cross, jab, pushing out. Again, one more time. Jab, cross, switch, cross, jab. That way you can switch sides. On the bag, it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I forgot to move back on my last punch. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. You can even, instead of jabbing back, you can jab off to the side. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, off to the side here. right? It just depends on where this right foot goes afterward. To jab off to the side, when I do this one here, I'm going to go ahead and start stepping off to the side a little bit here. That way when I switch, my foot comes to this angle here, so I can have them here on this. So what it looks like when I'm forward here is I go 1. Now this right foot is going to step just off the line 2 here. Now when I switch, boom, I'm already off the line here, and I can turn here. Boom. So again with the back, I'm going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I come off this line. Now, and when you go off the line, if you want, you can keep your jab up for your framing. So again here, 1, 2, 3, 4, jab. Again. That was a little messy, because that was just a little messy. We want to make sure we're sitting in our punch, right? Even if we just do the one in place, we want to sit in our punch. I couldn't get my foot up. Oh, that's a fun one. Add a spinning back fist. So we can do the same thing. Jab, cross. Right here, we're gonna cross. Now since my foot's here, I can hook. Spinning back fist out. Here, off the line. Again, so the footwork here, left side, I'm gonna jab, I'm gonna cross, bring the foot off the line, right? And when I do that, I bring it in. So 1, 2, here. Then when I switch, boom, hook. And the foot comes around, hook, for your spin back fist. So here on the bag, go 1, 2, switch. Let's try that again. All right. So from here, 1, 2, switch. I'm over here on this side now. Now I can move, throwing my right hand as a hook. Number 3, hook, spinning back fist or hammer fist. Again, when you're spinning, high risk, high reward. So make sure you're turning, keeping your head up. Here. Up, nope. Jab, cross, hook, hook, ha. I was thinking, throw a kick. If you can get off the line and throw the kick, then it works. Awesome, yeah. Round 1, you finish me. Maybe, who knows? Maybe, who knows? He might be right. He might be some, masterful person. But most high-level people don't talk like that. So, he sees red or something like that. All right. So, let's see. Yeah, those are the combos I had written out for today. So, we're going to go ahead and call the kickboxing part done for today. Good job. Way to hang in there. And if you didn't do the workout, then way to just hang out. If you what's it called? Got a laugh in because you're just laughing at me, then fine, whatever. At least you had a laugh. It's no skin off me. As long as you're out there doing what you do and you love and you're not hurting other people, if you need to come in here and because you're not right in the head and you need to laugh at me, that's fine. I just hope that you get some help, all right? All right, so after kickboxing, So after kickboxing, I like to do a couple jump kicks because it helps me stay and feel young. Not nearly as young as I used to be. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do a couple of our advanced-ish intermediate jump kicks. First one I'm gonna do a jump spinning outside crescent kick. So we have our outside crescent kick, which is a lot of times an axe kick, right? Here. So now I'm gonna just jump and turn and spin into it and see if I land. Let's see. All right. I'm getting older, so it's getting a little harder. Oh, it was okay. Let's try it again. Let's see if I can get a little higher. No, I got lower that time. Maybe I am a little tired. This is the third day of Kung Fu stuff. Do a quick Google search, get the training you deserve. Oh. Yeah, look at the guy. So he's going in timeout because what we do is we put children in timeout. If you're gonna act just dumb, we just put you in timeout. So yeah, thank you. My hip mobility is getting a little better. It's not the best, right? I blew out my hip years ago. I was this close to the splits, and I did the dumb thing, and instead of letting myself like naturally get there, I just had someone push me all the way down, and the hip flexor like popped, and it was a whole thing. So yeah. Anyways, we're starting to get it back though, right? That's why I'm doing a bunch of stretching, a bunch of splits. The kickboxing really helps. One of the best things that I've been doing is kicking the Wavemaster. Just that movement helps really loosen up the kicks. So people are gonna talk trash because people just know what they know. They don't know what other people are doing or what's in their lives, right? So it's funny. You just gotta sometimes forgive those guys. Sometimes put them in timeout. Yeah, that's all you really can do. All right, so a couple of my favorite Major Longhorn kicks. We have, let's see if I can do the 540. This one is a big jump spin, big thing like that. So let's see if I can still do it. All right. Wow. Hey, I made it. Still doing the jump kicks. What's fun about Kung Fu is that you get to learn all these cool sword stuff too. So you get to learn all the saber, right? All of them. It's a fun thing to practice, right? Like I'm never gonna be in a situation where I'm fighting someone with a saber. And if I was, I wanna be using this guy. But this is fun for shows and performances because it's really light, so you can do those quick turns really quickly up here. But in reality, yeah, it can cut. It really can cut because it's super loose. But if it ever touched another sword, it would be damaged pretty badly. Yeah, so, yeah. So I was a forms expert, right? My classmates were more of the striking experts, where I went with the forms and the weapons. That's my specialty. So it's I'm okay with this looking cleaner than the striking, even though my striking is better than most. If you look at an average person striking, they can't do what I do with my question mark kicks and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's still fun. Yeah. Does it clap? I don't know what that means. Let's see here. Also, what I'm thinking about doing next, for my next program that I'm going to teach, is I'm going to do a 3-sectional staff 6-week course where you get to learn all the different 3-sectional staff techniques. Like your figure 8 here. This is just one. And then you can do this one here. Try not to hit my ceiling. Oh, that's my leg. I have no room to actually do this in here. But yeah, the 3 sectional staff. Again, I was the forms expert, so this is what I really mastered in. So very cool stuff. Yeah, so that's all the stuff. Wipe or let it cross. What? A sug shaker. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Whatever. Y'all have fun with that. Now, if you want to get really strong punches, right? Really strong punches. What they used to do is train with the spear, because the spear technique, the lan na za, teaches you how to do an extremely strong punch using the force from the ground. All right. Now, it's a traditional technique, so you start in your horse stance here. You're going to lunge. You're going to pull back, blocking up. You're going to roll using the backhand, rolling down to trap. Then from here, you push into your bow stance, lunging again. Out. Then you pull back, up, trapping down. Then you stab. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You do that 100 times. 100 times a day. And you'll have on each side. You gotta do it on each side. You'll have one of the strongest punches from here, right? Using that back power here, turning into the force. Also, when you fight, the la na za, right? This here, la na za, all this motion, right? This isn't just about spear work, right? Spear work here, stabbing. This is cool, but it's also here. If someone punches and you can get their arm, boom, that roll. That's the roll here. Roll into your punch here. So you can parry, boom, punch through. That's how you take the traditional arts and you pull it into real life fighting, right? Right, so boom, I'm blocking over. Now I can punch through. That's the one punch. And then I open here. Parry, punch, boom, parry, 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 punch, parry, punch. It's fun. Also, you use your legs, right? A lot of the traditional Kung Fu teaches you how to squat down low and use your legs to pick people up, right? So when you do all these techniques here, up, right? You're strengthening your legs. I don't know when I'm gonna fight someone and I'm gonna come down to here. It's not gonna be very often that I would need to do this, right? Maybe if someone leg kicks me or head kicks me, but then I'm low, right? But if I can move from there, right? If I can move from there, someone throws a kick, right? And I can move slow and I can throw. You build that leg strength, right? So you got to find the right stuff. Hey, Moen. Yeah, so boxing's awesome. Kung Fu is fun. Yeah. Ever trained or overseas China, Thailand maybe? No, I wish. Yeah. You would get ankle picked in that low wide stance, I think. Yeah, I mean, that's why you wouldn't want to do it, for one, is because if a wrestler came in, they would just grab that ankle and then take you down and like, oh God, you're in the thing. So there's reasons for it, right? Like one of the reasons they say for the low stance is that it's a kick, right? So when you do it, you don't just drop back into low stance, right? You can, if you're up here fighting and you need to like dodge some giant of a kick and you need to get all the way down, I guess you could go down here, right? And then come back up, but that would be like the weirdest kick dodge, when all you need to do is here. So in Kung Fu, a lot of it is like a leg stance drill. So you'll squat down here and then you kick out their leg here, right? Now, I'm not really going to be doing that much to people, but if you have them in a throw, that motion there is very applicable, right? If I have you in a clinch here and I can get across from your body here, or we're wrestling and I can get my hip throw, that makes a lot of sense for that kind of, that power, right? Doing what's called an arrow kick. An arrow kick is where you come up, you kick back like this in Kung Fu world. Kind of like a reverse bow stance kick. So yeah, it's fun to see what could work in Kung Fu and what doesn't work in Kung Fu, right? What maybe isn't, not work is the wrong term. What isn't a fighting application, right? Because a lot of these movements are for just building hip mobility, strength, how to strengthen the tendons. Like this here, this one from Southern Hungar, we're not fighting anyone by pushing them away. I mean, I guess if you're pushing something up, you might need that strength here. But what you're doing is you're strengthening the tendons in your body, right? By squeezing and having the isometric and force back on it. So when you do this, you should be squeezing. I have no muscles. Do not think I'm trying to take you to the gun show, because I have like a little 9mm here. So yeah, anyway, so when you do this here and you pull back, I'm gonna squeeze the muscle, but mainly my forearm and the tendons here. And I squeeze, pushing out. And then back. And then out. And then back. And the last time you go and you push, and then you continue on with the different forms. But what it's supposed to be doing is it's supposed to be strengthening the tendons and the muscles, because you're squeezing everything against yourself. You're pulling against back. So it's just what a lot of times is called hard qigong, right? There's soft qigong, there's hard qigong. It just kind of means exercise, right? All right, cool. So yeah, that's just some ideas about the Kung Fu stances and poses here, right? I'm here. This is really a close pa. Here, if someone punches, you can parry and pull and punch here, boom, to here. So if I'm fighting, boom, here. But in our traditional aspects, we go here, pull the scapula. When all I need to do is, boom, it teaches you to pull the back out for when you punch, boom. Unified scapula connects to the frame, so your punches have weight behind each one of them. It's not just about being quick, right? You also need to be quick and have a little oomph to them too. That's why I like the long guard. I feel it better in the long guard. Maybe it's because I do more Tai Chi, and the circular of the chest has it. So when I'm here, I feel stronger here, because I can, if someone punches down the center line, you can block here, hit, boom. Or you can just punch over there, punch, boom, here. I've seen Sean Strickland. I'm not a big fan of his personally, but I've seen him fighting a lot in long guard and crushing it with long guard. It's really cool fighting style. Yeah. No. I am not a no touch. I do not believe in no touch. No touch is awful. The fascia is real, but the no touch is it gives Kung Fu a bad name. All those fake people, right? Kung Fu is supposed to be a martial art, and Tai Chi is Kung Fu. Tai Chi is a martial art. Now there's people who don't teach Tai Chi as the martial art anymore, which that's what's most popular. But the problem is that a lot of the fake people out there took Tai Chi and started developing their no touch and all their bull crap to make money, which at the time, I don't know, I just question it. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Favorite move to use in a battle. To use in a battle. Yeah, I love, see, we fight in the Philly shell too, but we do a little bit longer guard to guard our groin, because we're used to people coming in with little skip kicks, right, because of how Kung Fu works. A lot of times it's the Jeet Kune Do kind of style skip, punching in. So going from Philly shell to long guard, it makes sense, because you can be here, and then you can be out here if you need to be, and you can be here. Boxing's okay too. I like the boxing guard too. Yeah. Oh, thank you, it's fun. Martial arts is fun. That's the thing. Misunderstood, read comment before that. I missed. Is there a specific foot training for tendons in Kung Fu, like static hold and isometrics? Training for tendons in Kung Fu. Foot training. Not sure about foot training, just doing I mean, you could do the same squeezes and releases, right? You squeeze, you release, but there's these. So you get into your horse stance, and then you come up. but those are more ankle, calf, ball of the foot, toes. Yeah. Yeah, I've met plenty of Shaolin monks. Shaolin, yeah, plenty. I've been in the kung fu scene for years, guys. I got gray all over. I look young. I'm almost 40, y'all. I've done my whole grand championship, my whole tournament runs. I have my trophies and medals over there. I got my grand championship in San Francisco in 2011 at the International Chinese Martial Art Championships. And at all these tournaments, they're Shaolin monks. Now, a lot of the Shaolin Kung Fu recently has been Wushu. With the new head of the Shaolin Temple, there might be we're hoping that there's a pushback to some more traditional Kung Fu, because we think a lot of the Kung Fu, I personally believe, and I'm not taking away from the Kung Fu, it's really good. They're really good at what they do, but it's a lot of the performance Kung Fu, Wushu, right? So it's Shaolin Wushu, which if you're gonna do wushu, like do it from either the Beijing team or Shaolin, because they're the best. But what happened is a lot of the traditional martial arts, a lot of the traditional Shaolin Kung Fu got burnt down and stopped being taught when the masters left the temple, when it got burnt down, when the government stepped in, and now recently there was a lot of controversy. I'm not even 100% sure of what was going on, but there's a lot of controversy in the Shaolin Temple, and the temple headmaster of the Shaolin Temple just got replaced by a new guy who wants to go back to the Zen Buddhism teachings and be more prominent about the traditional stuff. So that might mean a thing back to traditional martial arts, but it also might mean that they're just not going to be focused on Kung Fu on the temple as much. They're never going to give up Kung Fu. Kung Fu is part of the Shaolin identity. It's about bettering yourself. Kung Fu means mastery of skill through hard work, right? It's not to them, it's not really a martial art. It's about, I mean, it is a martial art, but it's about making yourself a better person, right? A stronger person. Being a whole person, strong, right? Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to close it out here. I like to do one last thing before I go, which is I'm going to do a quick little 13 Golden Postures form. The 13 Golden Postures is from the Wu style. Well, there's a bunch of different styles that have the 13 Golden Postures, but I do Wu style Tai Chi. It's part of my program. I have a scholarship going on that you can sign up for. Scholarship just means that, you might win free Kung Fu classes. And even if you don't use them, it's a whole app. There's video on demand, so you don't even have to come to the group classes if you don't want, but the group classes where you get the best coaching, and you get one-on-one coaching from champion martial artists, right? So it's down here. Definitely not Steven Seagal, but yes, gotta have fun with it. All right. Definitely not Steven Seagal. My God, that guy is something else. And all the people who play into him, okay, I'm a rant real quick. I was very kind of frustrated with Jesse Enkamp when he went to go see Steven Seagal, because what the hell are you doing? I know you were trying to be respectful and stuff, but that was just some bull crap, Jesse. Come on. You're the karate nerd. You're not supposed to be going and placating to, whatever. That was hard to watch. Okay, anyway, I shouldn't be judging anyone like that. It's just he is the bullshido of the bullshido. My God. Okay, sorry. Us kung fu people that learned like real kung fu, like kickboxing and traditional kung fu, we get really frustrated with those McDojo people. Not McDojo life, but like the people who are actually McDojos, because they gave us such a bad name that we've been fighting the bad name, right? Go look up some Sanshao and Sanda. That's real kung fu fighting. All right, anyway, 13 Golden Postures. All right, for those who are still with me, that's the 13 golden postures. It's a Wu style form that kind of incorporates, making up new words now, incorporates 13 specific sets of movements, which the 13 postures is actually also a reference to the 8 energies and the 5 directions that you have in Tai Chi. So there's 8 energies: roll off, pung, which is pung, lu, roll back. So pung is ward off, right? So there's these different energies, which is kind of feelings or techniques that would go with it, right? So when we have something called parting the wild horse's mane, this is called splitting energy because the hands are kind of splitting like this. This is good if you have someone punches and you can grab them and you can throw them over your leg here, kind of splitting they're kind of like this, right? Kind of splitting their energy in two. Then there's pushing, right? Pushing is pretty simple. Pushing forward, all right? Plucking here. So there's all these different kind of energies, and energy just means like the kind of energy it takes to use that move, right? And it's not talking about like energy projection and chi, right? I'm not trying to do that no touch bull crap. That doesn't, this stuff, no, that doesn't work. It's about real connection and using the proper force minimally, right? So we use as little force as possible. But that's all theory and stuff. That's the end of the stream. We did a great kickboxing workout, so great job. And a lot of fun doing the Tai Chi, so keep up all the hard work if you're working out at home with us. If not, what are you doing? You should be working out at home with us. Awesome. There's also a link in the comments and in the description. Go ahead, check those out. There's one of my favorite 3-sectional staff tutorials that I made there. Just a quick little short, less than a minute. You can learn 3 whole moves of the 3-sectional staff. I think it's less than a minute. It might be a little bit longer. Who knows? Anyways, that was a great stream. I hope to see you all in the next one. Sign up for the scholarship. You may win a free set of Kung Fu classes. I mean, that's private lessons, everything. It's a full scholarship to my online program where you get coaching, you get nutrition, you get, what's it called? One-on-one coaching. You get to join our community of like-minded people who have fun doing martial arts. So there's no reason not to sign up for it. I don't sell your data or anything like that. It's just for the scholarship. Cool. Awesome. Hope you all have a great one. Cheers. I'll see you all in the next class. Happy Labor Day.